What's up, guys? We're live. I think that was a little too long of a silence, man. That was a little too long of a delay to announce I was live. So, damn, I fucked that up if you're watching this as a video, which if you are, I appreciate it because the last one, actually, a lot of you guys watched the stream even after when I wasn't live. So, what's up, y'all? What's up, Piggly Wiggly in the chat? M Golf 4 Productions, what's up? I said your name too. John Dong, what's up? What's up, y'all? D Quitter. Yo, you shitting on Renier the Ritter, man? Come on, man. The Quitter, the Ritter. We'll talk about the Quitter. We'll talk about the Ritter. We'll talk about all that. We'll talk about how bad UFC refereeing has been. So yeah, I appreciate y'all also bearing with me. I know it was, look, it was a little late. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of, honestly, like I said, I told y'all on the last stream, I need to upgrade my computer ASAP. So that's a big thing. I need to get I don't know. I don't know what I need to get. I don't know if it's because I have a Wi-Fi adapter. I don't know if y'all know anything about computers, so maybe y'all can help me out. But, I have like a Wi-Fi adapter or something like that, and, well, it is a Wi-Fi adapter, so I can get Wi-Fi from my computer here. And I've always had that. But I don't know if that's taking up too much power if I have a bad one or I just need more RAM. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. I'm thinking about getting 16. Y'all let me know. What's up, Piggly Wiggly? But I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all coming in. Pause. Yo, let me also, guys, I forgot who told me last time to change this to live chat so I could actually see all the chats. So now all the chats will be shown apparently. I don't know why YouTube does that where it's apparently not, I don't know why it blocks some chats. I don't know why. I don't know how they block chats. What's up, Piggly Wiggly? He said, hey, Jack, Fluffy will beat Chimaev. So I've said, look, I've been saying that for a long time. Not necessarily that he will beat him because I don't know. I'm not 100% on board, but I have been a believer in saying, look, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on Fluffy against Chimaev. I've said that plenty of times. I think Fluffy's really something special, but Chimaev is just so explosive early, it's hard to tell, to be honest. It's really hard to tell. So I don't know how that's actually going to play out, to be honest. But that first of all, we have to even see Fluffy get a matchup because Nasruddin Imavov is going to be next. Who does Fluffy even fight next? I don't even know who would be in contention there, guys. But we do have a lot of also news to talk about. There's a lot of stuff we're going to react to today. We didn't react to too much the last time. DeRitter was too active. He's a very big guy, and he got cut a lot. And you mean like he got cut like weight cuts? Or what do you mean? Imavov, no chance. I don't think Imavov is going to win either, to be honest. I think Imavov is going to lose. I think Imavov is just too he's too skinny, compared to Chimaev. I feel like Chimaev is just so just wide muscular, you know what I mean? I feel like he's just gonna get his arms around him, and just pick him up, slam him down. Fluffy versus Strickland next. Yeah, that's actually not a bad one. A lot of weight cuts. Actually, I like that a lot. Fluffy versus Strickland. I actually think Fluffy would win, and yeah, we would get rid of Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland would just be gone, I guess, from MMA type, because I think Fluffy would win. But they say that Sean Strickland does have good wrestling, but it's not a thing about wrestling and this and that. It's like the volume of it, and I feel like same thing with Merab. But look, I'm not saying he's exactly like Merab, to be honest, because I think they both have good cardio and stuff like that, but I just feel like Merab just is a different beast, you know what I mean? Like, he's a different level. So yeah, and also, guys, like I say, feel free, ask whatever questions, put whatever you guys want me to react to in the Discord. Don't care, MMA related, not MMA related, just keep it PG-13 at the very least. Keep it YouTube friendly, you know what I mean? And also keep it copyright friendly as well, please. Don't be sending me, react to this fight from however long ago. Merab best ever. Yeah, Merab is up there. We've been saying this. I mean, when did I say this? I don't know. I don't know when I first said it, but I've been saying for a while, I think Merab's going to go down as the GOAT of the bantamweight division at the very least. I think he has well exceeded that point, right? I think we could all agree, whether he beats Petr Yan or not, he's the best. Watching from Miami. Shout out Miami. I actually I've always wanted to go to Miami, but I have not. I've gone to Florida, but not Miami. What do you call it though? Yeah, no, Marab. We all love Marab here. We all love Marab on the channel. Let's actually just react to some stuff though. To be honest, let's see. I'm moving to Vegas soon. Oh shit. Vegas is actually a place I really, really, really want to go. All right. Let's see. All right. I think this would be a good place to start, to be honest. All right. Hold up, guys. All right. Boom. Let's start with this, guys. So, so this is something that went kind of viral recently. Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett is official for UFC 324 this January, live from Los Angeles. Obviously, I want to say this. We know it's fucking popular nowadays to make up bullshit. I mean, is this actually real, though? Wait, who is Alvaro Caminero? I don't know. I'm going to look that up in a second. But apparently, like, his originally UFC had planned to grant Justin Gaethje a title shot. However, in a strategic move to maximize viewership for their Paramount Plus debut, the promotion has opted for a blockbuster matchup between Topuria and Pimblett, a clash designed to generate massive fan interest and global engagement. Okay, now kind of curious now. is this real now? Okay. The UFC wants to open the new contract with Ilia Topuria. Okay, so yeah, this is actually him saying that that's false. So I don't think he agrees at all. He doesn't agree with this at all. So this is pretty much fake news. But I still wanted to talk about it, not because, I thought it was real necessarily, but because I have been saying this I still think it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think that's official that it's Justin Gaethje. And let me tell you guys this. I would kind of prefer this, not because necessarily, I'm, honestly, I think at this point as a fight, actually, you know what? I actually don't know if I'd rather Paddy anymore. There was a time where I said, because of the hype, but at this point, I think that Justin Gaethje is actually better, just because, I don't know. I feel like that'll be an actual good fight. That they're gonna deliver a good fight, and I think that Gaethje's gonna get absolutely slumped out cold. I think this will probably be Gaethje's last go. I don't know if he'll retire, but I think he's going to get knocked out cold. Vegas is about half the price of Miami to live in. Wow. Yeah, New York is also expensive. Shout out these big cities, man. And I don't know. I didn't know that Las Vegas was cheap. Paddy TKO Topuria on the ground. I don't think TKO. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Although I'm curious to see. I mean, we haven't really seen, Topuria's gas tank tested. Now, I know detractors will say, well, Josh Emmett. Well, Josh Emmett, I mean, look at the fight. He controlled the whole fight. He got 10-8 rounds. Did he get a 10-7 round in there? He controlled the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of a different story, I think, than any other matchup, Topuria is just a beast at this point, and I just think that I'm curious to see if someone were to actually, push his gas tank, where he would be, you know what I mean? Where would he be tired? Would he not be tired? You know what I mean? I feel like getting pushed, okay, let me put it like this. If Paddy Pimblett is taking him down over and over again, trying different submissions, that's going to be exhausting for Ilia, right? Opposed to him just controlling distance with Josh Emmett and stuff like that, and outboxing him pretty easily. Josh Emmett wasn't really giving him much challenge, let's be honest. So I think that if he fights Ilia, if Ilia fights Paddy, then I think that that Paddy's going to cause him some problems. How would Topuria versus Prime McGregor go at featherweight? I think, man, it's so tough to say. It's tough to say. I think I would I don't know. I think we have to see more. No. You know what? I think I would go with Ilia because of the grappling. I think he can mix it up. He definitely is going to go for takedowns. But if it's on the feet, I actually think maybe McGregor, could potentially maybe snipe him, but I don't know. Topuria does hit really hard. It's hard to say. I don't know. It's hard to say. Definitely tough to say. But I think that for sure that let me put it this way though. Ilya definitely is a better fighter than McGregor, but the chance of him getting caught by McGregor, it could always happen. It's the truth. It could always happen. And McGregor hits hard, and Topuria does hit hard too. But I feel like McGregor has a better range. Like, he was better at controlling the range and better at he was great at countering. So if he's controlling the range and Topuria is trying to get in, it could be pretty problematic unless he's going to try to get some takedowns and he's going to try to mix it up. Which actually, I think Topuria would probably win. I think he would mix it up because you know what it is. MMA has evolved so much that is basically the best way to win in MMA now is to mix it up because. If your opponent is fearing a takedown the whole time, you could pretty much outstrike him. It becomes a lot easier to strike with him at least because your opponent is going to be always expecting a takedown, so he's not going to be fully protecting himself and is always more going to be kind of concerned about the takedown. It's a huge cheat code, and I think McGregor would have been so used to that. You know what I mean? He didn't fight anybody at that point to that, and that's extremely difficult, especially against someone like Topuria where, bro, if you make a mistake, like, McGregor would have been out cold. No joke about it. But McGregor does have a good chin, or did have a good chin, I should say. I don't know how it would be now, but I honestly think they should do Ilya Topuria versus McGregor now. The reason why I say this is because fuck it. Like, who cares? Like, I honestly, we all know Topuria is going to knock out McGregor, right? Give him the clout, Ilya Topuria, so we have a new superstar, end the McGregor chapter, and retire him for good. That's what it is. Retire him for good. I'm moving to Vegas soon. Oh, no. Yeah, we already talked about that. Topuria TKO. Yeah, we talked about that too. Armin. What about Armin? What about Diego Lopez versus Prime McGregor? So, well, that's interesting. I think, I don't know. I really rate Diego Lopez. He didn't look great in that Alexander Volkanovski fight. Let's be honest. Like, he definitely had some flaws in there. So, I don't know. But he's such a dangerous finisher. Like, yo, if you make any mistake with the ground, I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go, the thing is, like, anybody can get caught by McGregor, so it's really hard to say, but I would probably say Diego Lopez, but like I said, yeah, I'm going to say Diego Lopez, because Diego Lopez has a really good chin, so I think he's going to be able to take the shots of McGregor, and I think he's going to either knock him out or knock him down, get him to the ground, submit him. I would have more faith in Diego Lopez. What the fuck is wrong with referees? Let's get into it. Let's get into it, bro. What is wrong with referees these days? Well, referees, we've talked about this, it feels like, since the dawn of time. It's how are these guys getting in, making these bad decisions time and time again, I don't understand it. We kind of talked about it on Saturday. We did a stream. It's ridiculous. Once again, and I don't understand how the world has just kind of gone silent. Kevin Holland fights Mike Malott, gets kicked in the groin multiple times. And, no point taken from Mike Malott. Mike Malott's just allowed to do that. And Mike Malott not only is allowed to do that, goes on to win the fight. Makes absolutely no sense. Should there be something done about referees? I've been thinking, what should they do? What could they realistically do? UFC. Diego by sub. Topuria Gaethje. Yeah, I like Topuria Gaethje, I think, as well. I think that's a fun fight. Because I just think, it'll be... come on, that's going to be that's going to be good. I feel like, especially if the longer it lasts, the more fun it'll be. But I honestly don't know if it'll last long. I think that Gaethje's going to get knocked out cold. Armin future GOAT? I don't know about that. Don't know. Because I just think, I don't know when he's going to get a title shot next. I don't know, though. At the same time, potentially, look, at the end of the day, we were told that, I think Dana White said that Dan Hooker and Armin Tsarukyan was a number one contenders fight, right? So if that's a number one contenders fight, then, if that's a number one contenders fight, then I don't think anyone else is going to get a title shot, for real. I think then he's going to go on and then fight. The real problem would be Ilya, but who do you guys think is going to win, Ilya or Armin? Because I think Ilya's going to win. Do you think there's a chance the UFC encourages the refs to make questionable decisions to get more people talking about the event? No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't really think so because I feel like if anything, it just makes the UFC look bad. Like, bro, like it just delegitimizes the sport in every way. Like combat sports, especially boxing, but we're kind of associated with well, some people, not us, obviously, but some people associate combat sports as dirty, fake, scripted. Oh, this can't be real. But and I feel like these things just delegitimize the sport and make it like just seem like a joke. It doesn't help it and makes people not want to watch. Luke is done, yeah. Rest in peace, Luke, man. Is he like retired for real or no, didn't he retire? Yeah, he did retire, right? Or I don't know. I don't even remember. My memory is shot. Did he retire or am I bugging? Saddest retirement of the year? ? Don't sleep on Patty though. He's really fucking big. Okay, I'm not bugging. You just I think wrote that wrong. Don't sleep on Patty though. He's really fucking big. So yeah, no. I've said before that look, you can't sleep on Patty, and Patty does have a path to victory. However, I don't know. I think that Topuria is another level. It's not that I'm sleeping on Patty. It's just that I'm showing respect to Ilya. There is a path to victory for Patty. Like I think if Ilya sleeps on Patty, he can lose. I think he's definitely got to treat him serious. But I think Ilya knows that, and Ilya will. Patty's dangerous on the ground. I think it's going to be interesting because this is like the first time it's like Ilya fighting a star. I don't know why they don't just do this fight. And that's the thing is, okay, we also just said about Arman Tsarukyan, right? Could he get the next title shot? I don't know. Could he get the next title shot? Because think about this, right? He could lose, or not lose. He could beat Dan Hooker, and Paddy Pimblett, and Ilya could beat Justin Gaethje. Then maybe International Fight Week, or not International Fight Week because that's probably the White House card, and I don't think they would do this for the White House card, but maybe another fight card, they do Ilya versus Paddy. And then what happens to Arman? That's fucking crazy. So I guess that's really not a number one contenders fight. Topuria could KO. It'd be funny if they told Arman that, and then they're like, oh, no, last minute. Oh, sorry, we can't. Just like how he did with UFC, whatever number that was with Islam in the beginning of the year. I'm hyped for Alex Pereira next. Who will it be? Okay, so gone by TKO is your prediction? Wow, we got to get into that. I'm going to react to that in a second. Because that's a hot take and a half. I'm sure, big take. I'm hyped for Alex Pereira next. Who will it be when he fights? I think it will be heavyweight is my prediction because as I've said, I am not in favor of this, and that's why I'm gonna get into it in a second. What I would want him to do, but we know the UFC don't want him to move up. Alex Pereira wants to move up. I think Alex Pereira will overall win that battle because he has done so much for the UFC. How could the UFC literally say to him, no? He has literally stepped in on short notice for them how many times? You know what I mean? Like, it would be a joke to say that. Like, it would literally be the UFC disrespecting him to his face. Like, you can't say no to this guy. You just do it. You can do him the solid, and you let him go up. I think that's what's going to inevitably happen, but maybe I'm being naive, and maybe I'm not respecting the UFC's capabilities to get stuff done, because I don't think the UFC want that. I actually do want the same thing the UFC want. I want him to stay at light heavyweight, and I want him to fight some other guys. I think, look, there's some interesting fights. Olberg, Yuri, maybe another guy comes up. I don't know. I want him to stay there. And maybe he fights Yuri and Olberg and then he goes up. But I have said before, I'm more interested in Pereira heavyweight if he has some time to at least like build up the weight and stuff like that. Like if he could, maybe if he's like, okay, I'm not going to fight until fall of next year, summer of next year. I think even June's too soon. June's not enough time, I don't think, for him to build up the weight. Like, I think he needs, like, a little more time at the very least. But maybe that is enough time. Maybe I'm dragging it. It is October. Maybe I'm dragging it a bit. I don't know. Gone by TKO, though, I do want to react to. I do not think Ciryl Gane will win by TKO. I have said before, I think that Tom Aspinall is going to win pretty easily. I think Tom Aspinall is a beast. I think that Tom Aspinall is going to go down as maybe one of the greatest of all time, but definitely the greatest heavyweight of all time. No doubt about it. I think this will be the start of it. I think what he does to Ciryl Gane, I think people are going to be like, wow. That's my prediction. And it has nothing to do with my disrespect for Gane. Trust me, I've actually I've defended Gane before. I definitely think Gane gets shit on about his grappling way too much. I think that John Jones actually just was. I think people just don't want to give John Jones credit for looking good against Ciryl Gane more than anything when they shit on Ciryl Gane. I think it was. And look, Ciryl Gane is not a great grappler. I'm not going to tell you that at all. But, I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's like a piece of shit, terrible fighter. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that Ciryl Gane, though, I think he's going to get knocked out. I don't even think he needs to go to the ground. I think that Tom Aspinall is too fast. And I honestly, when I saw in the countdown Tom Aspinall's dad say the thing about Ciryl Gane when he said that he takes risks to finish the fights, like, to me, I was like, damn, they're really tapped in, because that's 1,000% the case, and it's true. It's 1,000% true. And actually, that's something I respect about Ciryl Gane, because opposed to someone like Israel Adesanya, who stood on the outside feinting and would just get a decision, was okay if his opponent would stay on the outside, Ciryl Gane actually would go in there and take risks. Look at the Derek Lewis fight. That's a perfect example, in my opinion. Look at the Derek Lewis fight where what do you call it? Is the chat paused or something like that? Or yeah, I think the chat is paused. My bad, y'all. Or not paused. I'm still reading it, but it's like paused on the screen. So that's why I was still reacting to it. But where was I? I don't even know. Oh yeah. I said I don't even know. Oh no, I don't know. What was I saying? I don't know. Something about Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall. Like, I think that I don't know what I said, but I don't even think he needs to get to the ground. I think that Tom Aspinall. Oh, it was about what his dad said. His dad. You already know what he said. I already told you, but it was. I do agree with that. I think that he does take risks. Oh, look at the Derek Lewis fight. That's what I was up to. I was going to tell you guys. Look at the Derek Lewis fight where Ciryl Gane fought Derek Lewis. He took risks to finish that fight. Like, he could have stood on the outside. Derek Lewis is exhausted. He could have leg kicked, jab, and maybe even eventually got a knockout in the 5th round and been a little boring, played it safe. Nah, he got a finish, and I respect that about Ciryl Gane. So I do respect that about Ciryl Gane. So I'm not some Ciryl Gane hater when I say this. No, I'm just hyping up Aspinall. I think Aspinall is going to absolutely, knock his head off. I think he's going to knock his chin off his head. Seriously. Tom is so fast. He's incredibly fast. And Ciryl Gane is known to be fast, but I still think he's way faster than Ciryl Gane. He's a lot faster than Ciryl Gane, I would say. He's like the fast heavyweight, and I think they're really tapped in. I think they're really prepared for him. They're really prepared for his style. They probably are going to mix in the grappling if it goes long. And there will be a takedown, but I just don't think it's going to go that long. I think it'll be a first-round knockout. That's my prediction. And I think Ciryl Gane might be done from MMA because he's getting money elsewhere from modeling, from I don't even know what else he does. Modeling, stand-up comedy, whatever the hell he does. Acting he does, I know. I think he's in some movie. Let's see what else you guys said, because I saw the chat was going off. John Jones is the greatest of all time. Just got to say that real quick. So, yeah, I do agree, and some people will disagree, and some people will say, oh, that's not true. If you guys want to say, oh, because of steroids, I understand, and then that's a different conversation. I understand that and totally, but my stance has always been on the whole steroid thing and the GOAT conversation is that I just feel like we don't know realistically how many people are on steroids. I really would not be surprised to find out that most of the roster is on steroids. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't, I also wouldn't be surprised if most of them weren't, I don't know. I really don't know. I could go either way. So my opinion on it is I feel like we're going to basically, there's probably people that we say are GOATs that use steroids. 1,000%. There's tons of people that get a lot of praise that use steroids. So how are we supposed to, and we don't know. So how are we supposed to, so what, that guy counts because he didn't get caught? It doesn't really make sense to me. I think you just count it all, and acknowledge. And I think you could put a little asterisk and say, or you could even say, hey, this guy was really clean, and I really do think he was clean, so he goes above John for that. But I think to say, and maybe then that's fair. But then say, I feel like that then you got to kind of say that. But I think that John Jones has the best resume, the best finishes, and all that stuff. No way, Hassan Piker got caught shocking his dog again. Is this true? Send it in my Discord and I'll react to it. Or I'll just look it up too if you want me to. I want Ciryl Gane to win because the cope from the, or I don't know if I should because it might get taken out, but I want Ciryl Gane to win because the cope from the people who say that Jones ducked Aspinall would be hilarious. Absolutely not, because I would be one of those people. So I would not be happy. I'm not a John Jones fan, as you guys know. So I do not hope that happens. I actually would be very sad because I'm a huge Tom Aspinall fan as well. So, I'm rooting big time for Tom Aspinall. So that's not what I want to hear. Exactly the argument about John Jones not being the GOAT because of steroids has never made sense to me. These guys get injured all the time in training camps. Why would they not use steroids to help recover? Well, that's a different story. I'm not here advocating for steroid use. I'm just saying, like, you realistically can't tell the difference. So I don't know. I just feel like you might as well just count it all. It does suck that people take steroids. I don't think people should take steroids. I mean, look, there's definitely, there's conversations, like I've heard people say pesticides and stuff should be allowed, and that's a different story. And I don't really, I'm not the best guy to talk about this with. I don't know all of, like, the exact things about it, so I'm not here no expert or anything. But from my knowledge, I don't think pesticides really, like, is a steroid. Well, it's not a steroid, period. But or is it pesticide? I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, because isn't pesticides the shit that you put on, like, plants and that kill it or something? I don't know. Peptides. I said pesticides. It's peptides, or pesticides, isn't that like the bugs or some peptides? That's what I'm talking about. I think that's like some sort of. And now I also disconnected, or I don't know. The stream might be a little disconnected. Disconnected again. So I don't know. But I think most of the roster is on steroids. I think that you can't really tell who's who. I think probably most of the people at the top kind of tend to have steroids. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. The quality will be here. Please don't leave. Please don't leave me, because if y'all leave, I cannot upgrade my computer. Please. I think Jack, I thought you meant me. I'm reading this thinking you're talking about me. I think Jack is gonna knock Islam the fuck out. I thought you were talking about me. Like, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out. I was like, yo, I appreciate it. I appreciate the support that y'all are giving me, but I don't think so. But he is in my city, and I gotta say, Islam did not check in with me. He did not check in with me. He did not DM me and say, hey, Jack, is it cool if I stay in the city? Is it cool if I come here a little bit early? He did not say any of that. Didn't offer me tickets to the event. I don't know. I might have to pay him a visit. I've heard, my goons have told me where he's staying. You know what I'm saying? So I might have to pay him a visit. Should we do like a stream together? Bring Islam to the crib? I don't know. And that's the thing, is, like, have I talked bad about any of these fighters? That's the thing. And I probably have talked bad about Islam on the videos before. So, look, I call it what it is. Look, sometimes even the fighters I like, I call out. So, it happens. Like, we talked, I think last stream, we talked, I don't even know who we talked about last stream, but I had it going on somebody. But yeah, no, I thought you meant me. Gone elbow KO. I do not think that's going to happen. And if it does, I'll crash out. Yeah, I'm not advocating either. I'm just saying fighters have so much incentive to take them. No, absolutely. There is a lot of incentive to take them. And I think at the end of the day, if you're a fighter and I'm sure that they know, probably to a certain degree, who's on steroid, who's not on steroids. I'm sure, like, word gets out, rumors easily get out, in and out. I mean, MMA is such a small community. So I'm sure shit gets in and out and shit gets known pretty easily. So I think word can get around. So if you're somebody and you're hearing, oh, this guy's on steroids, it's kind of like, I need to be on steroids to even compete with these guys. And then that becomes an issue of in itself, and it becomes unfair for everybody else. Yeah, I read that. Roids disqualify them from Go Convo. And I think that's a respectable take. I don't disagree necessarily. I don't think that you're wrong for having that. I gave my take why I wouldn't do that. But I think it's a respectable take. I think, look, it's a really hard choice to do. It's a hard call. For sure. I want to see Poatan come back against Ngannou for the White House card. That would, for real, that's real fireworks. If that happens, I think I would absolutely... You guys would see a different side of me. Let's put it that way. I might go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to say what I'm thinking. But no, that would actually be a firefight. I think Ngannou, like I said, Ngannou versus Aspinall was what they should have done. That would have been the best makeup for John Jones. Say, all right, you know what? Fine, fuck that. Well, let's get Ngannou back. Let's talk to Ngannou. Let's get him back. Ngannou could easily come on. You literally all these guys have to do to get out of the PFL contract is fucking tweet out and cry. Oh, I don't want to be here anymore, and then they let him out. Like, what happened to contracts? Like, imagine if a UFC fighter did that, like, going on there, oh, I don't want to fight. Like, Nate Diaz, like, oh, I don't want to fight in my contract anymore. You think the fucking UFC is cutting, or letting him out? You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here. This is crazy, But I guess, but let's be honest, PFL doesn't have, doesn't have that leverage. Let's be honest. Like, the UFC is bigger than most of these fighters, while the PFL, is pretty small organization. Let's see. At No Sun Stars, is GSP on your GOAT list? I don't know who No Sun Stars is because I can't see your ads, but GSP is definitely on the GOAT list. Come on, has to be. What part of New York are you from? I'm from Brooklyn. So I'm from Queens, New York. Magomed Roundtree. If that's a fight that you want to be made, that's actually not a bad idea. If you're talking about Magomed, Ankalaev and Khalil Roundtree, that's actually not a bad idea. I like that fight a lot. I think though, I don't know who would win that one. I think that Magomed would. I think Magomed would. I think he would control the pressure, and I think that would kind of freeze up Khalil a little bit, because Khalil, has kind of looks. But I don't know if Khalil, maybe if he gets pressured, maybe he will unleash that dog in him like he did against Pereira. I don't know. What were your thoughts on the Ngannou and PFL situation? So you mean the whole situation about PFL Africa and all that, or just, the whole thing? Let me just get into the whole thing. Well, Ngannou obviously signed with PFL years ago at this point, like so long ago. Or I don't know if it's been years. Has it been years? Yeah, probably, right? Years ago, fought Renan. Well, who did he fight? Renan Ferreira, last year, and hasn't fought since. That's the only fight he's had in the past few years. I've heard apparently that he signed I heard something like, I don't know, like a 2-fight contract or something like that. And I don't know if there was necessarily years attached to it. I think there were years attached to it, but I'm not sure. And of course, he fought one fight. You would think if that's the case, that there's another fight. So who would he fight? It's really problematic because who does he even fight? Like, there isn't anybody to fight. The PFL isn't building, the PFL should have been building at this point people, maybe through these tournaments for him to fight, maybe have a guy, get a few good knockouts, you know what I mean? Put everything behind them, but the PFL is just shit. I don't know. I don't know if it's shit or I don't know what it is. Or they just don't have money, I have no idea. I used to have an apartment in Brooklyn, nice to sit on the roof at night, in the winter was nice. I moved to Miami, and then I'll be moving to Nevada. Damn, so you went from New York to Miami to Nevada. Damn, bro's moving all around. Is that like what do they call him, like a nomad or whatever? They say in the schools and all that, huh? In little social studies. But I also want to talk about UFC 321 real quick. We did talk about UFC 321 a little bit, but it is happening this weekend. I'm feeling good things about the card. I feel very good about the card. I like this card. I feel like there's been better Abu Dhabi cards. I'll be real. I'm really tempted to go to the New York card, guys. I really am. This New York card is looking stacked. Stacked like a pancake. Now, actually, let's see the prices. I'm going to peep the prices live on stream right now. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure, like, no card details are visible. Okay, perfect. I'm not even signed in. Okay. All right. Let's see. UFC Madison Square Garden. I hope this doesn't leak anything of mine. I should probably be careful. Oop, I'm scared. Damn, yeah, they're slashing these fucking tickets, bro. I swear these were like 800 last time I checked. So I'm gonna check. Like, I'm gonna go. I don't know if I should give out my methods, but like, I'm gonna try to go type. But damn, like, I would honestly, like, I'm not gonna want to go. Like, if I'm here, I'm just gonna stay home type. Like, I want to be like around here. Like even here. I honestly feel like, look, these 100 seats. I feel like, or I'm trying to zoom out. Yeah, these 100 seats are usually like the best. I feel like these on the floor are cheeks, I think. Absolute cheeks. But I don't know. Have y'all ever been to a UFC event? I don't mind them. I think, look, it's good to go once. I think they're pricing out fans is my take, and I think they're just not worth it anymore. That's just the case. Clear as day. And also, I want to look up about Hassan Piker. There's no way that that's true. There's absolutely no way. Let's see. Let me see. I'll also react to a little bit more stuff before we wrap up. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate all y'all watching. Yeah, I think that guy was clickbaiting me. So nice job, pal. Wasting stream time. Me to look up some fake news. All right. Let's see another thing to react to. Okay, I want to talk about this actually. All right. Let's talk about Alex Pereira. We did talk a little bit about him, about what his next move is, but let's talk about some other stuff. Alex Pereira fought with the fractured shin, first Ankalaev fight. Alex didn't, and this is according to Mauricio Ruffi, which obviously we all know Mauricio Ruffi at this point. He is a fighting nerd, obviously one of the top fighting nerds. Honestly, one of my favorite fighting nerds. Fights kind of like Conor McGregor in a way. Prime Conor McGregor has a weird stance. Alex didn't, but now that everything's over, I can say it. He was fighting with a cracked shin in his first fight. His shin was so injured he could barely walk. He lost, but he still went out there and fought, and then he came out of the rematch and showed his level. And if that's, that is intense. Like, there's like pretty much nothing more dangerous than fighting. If you have literally, that's really Conor McGregor fought. And credit to him for not pulling out, because I would have pulled out. I think he should have pulled out. That's dangerous. He literally could have tried to kick the leg of Magomed. And it's not even like he is a Conor McGregor. I don't know, and I'm sure that Pereira, I don't know. I don't know Pereira's, I would assume he probably doesn't have to work another day in his life, but honestly, I don't know that. And I don't think that's a safe assumption to make, sadly, with the UFC, with how the UFC pays their fighters and stuff like that. I don't think that's a safe assumption to make. So, I don't know. You definitely kind of have to feel bad for him in the situation. It's not the same as Conor McGregor. If he were to break his shin, it's not, you're risking a little bit more, But big fight this weekend. There's going to be a lot of videos, a lot of prediction videos. Guys, type any last questions you guys got before we wrap this thing up. I appreciate y'all tuning in and all that stuff, all that jam. If y'all want me to continue, keep typing in the chat, because like I said, I'll continue if y'all got questions, but if not, then I'll hit the dose, hit the hay, hit the deuces. Also check out the podcast. You guys know Mike Check, new podcast coming out on Friday. New shorts always, and just always content. New content's coming out for Wednesday. New video, and I'll try to stream more. I definitely want to stream more. Definitely want to be a little more active. Last stream was a lot of fun after the fight night in Vancouver. We talked about that. I don't know. I have some things planned, some ideas for streams. I'm actually, I won't say too much. Let's let the action do the talking, okay? Guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank y'all, every one of y'all, for tuning in. Thank y'all for just being nice. Just taking the time of day to just stop, type in the chat, say, hey, what's up, Jack? Thank you for, I don't know. No, y'all didn't say thank you, but I'm saying thank you. But just asking questions, just talking about MMA. We love talking MMA. I will see you guys very soon. I will see you guys in another video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Shout out Magal for production. Shout out John Dong. Shout out No Sun Star. Shout out James Martin. Shout out all y'all that chatted. Shout out to all y'all. So thank y'all for watching, guys. See y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.